All right, guys, super interesting, deep topic, which I will try not to deliver too categorical, too abrupt, too harsh, not to be leaning towards some of the sides, because we know that we cannot put label to something, that this is correct and no ways are working. This is disadvantage when we become too so-called fanatic about some topics. But what I will be delivering you should bring understanding why life without food, without sleep is natural process of growth, us as species, us psychologically and spiritually. The main concept of not eating is kind of transformation of psyche and body and all your aspects. And the problem is that we need to pass through comfort zone a lot. We need to complicate our psyche so much that we will not only be enjoying so-called austerity from the point of view of person who is eating, but we'll be enjoying this austerity and we'll be looking at food and sleep as deficiency, that this is what limits me. This is what not allowing me to fully self-express and materialize my wishes. And I will explain you now why miracles are happening when you stop eating and drinking and sleeping, why we feel fearless. And this is all psychoanalysis, which is based on teachings of Jacques Lacan, the French psychoanalytic of 20th century. And the main paradigm of Jacques Lacan is from slave to master. Psyche from slave to master. And this is evolution of your consciousness and your psychological evolution. When we are born, we need mother, because mother is our extension of our own body. We don't know what is life when we are infants. We are only sucking mother's breast, and sleeping. 12 hours minimum of sleep to the break to have the milk. Milk is to give the child all DNA information. So breastfeeding is a natural process of this connection, because we have this cut of umbilical cord, which is a huge stress already. And then child needs to perceive information through mother's breastfeeding. To be also it boosts immune system, the breast milk, and gives us foundation to gradually become more self-sufficient and separate from mother and stop sucking into her breast. Lose the nipple of the mother. This is a psychoanalytical process. First, we already discussed trauma, that we are born. So bright colors, sharp sounds, it's very hard. First shock, then the cut of umbilical cord, another shock, and then gradually more and more trauma. But according to Jacques Lacan, only through trauma, only through challenge and a little bit pushing out of comfort zones, we can grow spiritually, physically. And if you remember even sports, the same Kundalini yoga, you have to a little bit push yourself, and then you have boost of pleasure and your body shapes into more beautiful form. Then it becomes easier and easier and easier. And after 7 years of Kundalini yoga, for me, everything is easy there and only brings pleasure. Now, as I feel like this all the time, like high vibrations throughout the body, it doesn't bring me as much radical change. So Jacques Lacan was saying about this immature state of psyche when we are not in control of our emotions, we don't know what is life, and this is normal process of growth. So child grows, he investigates reality. For instance, why we need digestion? Probably because when we are small, we still need food to grow and to realize how it affects us. And gradually, we need to lose this food as the metaphor to calm ourselves down, the metaphor of comfort of mother's womb. We need to lose it to be able to withstand what reality brings us. Because when we're growing, we have a lot of shock, a lot of aggression from society, a lot of challenges, and we want to come back to mother's womb, and under the influence of the moon, we are sleeping, and this is a representation of mother's womb. Each night we go into sleep, and we feel comfortable and feel relaxation as in the arms of the mother, when we feel warm and safe. But this safety is required only for child, because child is still not responsible for his life and his reactions, his physicality and his psyche. He's just not experienced enough to know what is life and how he can be in control of all his reactions. So this makes sense. Psychoanalysis is a very logical thing. When I heard about all this, and before that I was also learning psychoanalysis, and I was like, yes, that's why food is not needed, because I'm already grown. I don't need to process anything by the tool like food to calm myself down and return back to mother. Instead, we are leaning towards the path that our main celestial body, which predisposes our life and behavior, will be Saturn. Saturn has the qualities of father. Father as a figure, which is self-responsible, structurized, logic, expanded in society, uses his skills to influence, not to dominate, because again, this is perversion, but to self-express and give yourself to the world. But to give yourself to the world is kind of a challenging thing, because there is a lot of hatred, a lot of not agreeing with you, and you have to withstand this enormous stress on your psyche. And people who are getting rid of sleep and food, they are more stable in psyche, usually automatically, because they can withstand what comes from reality. And miraculously, the more you express, the more you're withstanding, the more you have control, not from ego mind, control as energy, control of your biofield over formation of all your events and all your manifestations. You accelerate a lot what you want. Food is like breaking trace. You act, you slow down, and you postpone the realization of your desires and dreams. If you go to sleep, you postpone even more. So you are in motherland. You're not father who is expressing, who is doing business, who is constantly, little by little, breaking through the comfort zones and becoming self-sufficient, psychologically independent and spiritually independent person, who is not worshiping guru or not visiting church, because he is not creating idols for himself. He recognized the sparkle of God in himself. And again, it's only immature psyche will have arrogance or pride for this, or call him Messiah. You realize just that your father, like God, let's say, wants you to grow up. And when you grow up, he gives you more and more gifts, more and more opportunities, more and more abundance, so-called synchronicities, which are not synchronicity even. This is normal. But if we stay with a mother, with your care and love, we're not breaking through our comfort zone little by little, not growing, we have the price to pay. You fall asleep, then you will have disease, because your body gives you the signal, grow, complicate, do something. But we're frustrated, and again, returning back to mother to calm down, as if we will sleep, something will change. But usually nothing changes in life if we're not doing concrete actions in life, creating something, expressing ourselves. Yeah, so if we name again qualities of moon is emotionality and sensitivity, which again, why I'm not thinking this should be so categorical, we still need to preserve some qualities of the moon for ourselves. For instance, mystical revelations, intuition, this is moon as well. Why sleep deprivation is so mystical? Because you're like a shaman. You're creating your own intentions during night, and then in daylight, you embodying them through your actions, and you attract quicker than when you are sleeping, comparingly. But you never know, because you never compared, Who never practiced will never say. Because people who are in constant eating and sleeping Groundhog Day, they never become adults through their life. Even if they have business, even if they have some power, at least they should be sleeping less. And all people who have power and big businesses, they usually sleep a little bit, or someone who is constantly creating. But they usually pay the price for their health, because they're still eating a lot. And when you eat, and your body is not capable to digest and simultaneously not sleep. You need sleep to compensate this lossage of energy. So this is catch-22 for most people.